So I've had a few folks requesting some very, very basics being put down on video. So I thought I would start with basic stick strikes, and then do one on basic footwork, and then one on just basically combining them to make active drills for individuals. So here we go. All right, first one I always try to teach folks, X pattern, hourglass, whatever you want to call it. The lines, when I teach kids class, we call it making X's. Stick starts here, we start big, gigantic motions, way up in the air. Feet planted. Okay, don't worry about your feet right now, we're just working on the stick motion. I reach up, way high. I don't know if you can see all that, but way high. And I turn my hip and come straight down on that diagonal line. Okay? Here. It's a basic forehand diagonal. Okay? Now, for the very, very beginner, we don't let it flow too much. That comes with time. So my original diagonal was forehand. Then I bring it directly up for my backhand diagonal. All right? Up high, up high, up high. I'm turning my hip. Hips are the impetus to make the stick move. Turn. Come up, hips loaded over here. All right. Once I start getting these motions, and start to make this a fluid pattern. Fluid pattern. Big. Okay? Diagonal X's. All right, once I get the big, once the pattern's established, I move from starting way high to starting more realistic. My elbow's in tighter. I'm using more of that hip rotation. My arm opens up a little bit to make that motion. Instead of big and wide, now it's more narrow. Comes up to my backhand position. Up to my backhand position. Notice it rolls, rolls, rolls. Here, here, here. Those are your two basic diagonals. Again, impetus for the stick swinging is coming from the hip. I don't start my arm moving and then catch my hip up. Hip turns first. Okay? In reality, your foot is turning first. And that's what we'll do here in a second. But I want to establish the angles of the strikes. X, X. Letting my wrist roll. Okay? All right. So, that's diagonal. Horizontal strikes. Straight across the plane, about neck level. Okay? So we start pretty easy, resting on our shoulder. My hip is cocked. I unwind, come straight across and wrap. Then I unwind the other direction. I open up, flip. Straight across, back. Straight across, back. Here, 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 here. Okay? It's not rocket surgery. Straight across. These are neck and head level shots. Okay? And when I teach kids class, talk about cutting the zombies' heads off. go. Here we go. Straight across. You can stiff arm this one to the outside if you would like. I suggest you do not do that. You let it roll. Again, fluidity is a huge part of stick, knife, and hands. Okay. All right. So then we have upward X, the upward diagonals. That's, again, my hip is loaded, coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, up, up. Here, 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 here. Okay? So it's just a diagonal X, just in reverse. Okay? So there's 2, 3. The last two basics that we do are jabs and what's called a Wittig. Okay? Wittig is here, above my head. If I have it facing directly forward, my elbow is out, my arm is up. When I go to rotate, I rotate the stick, my elbow comes down and in, so it's pointing straight forward. My target's always going to be in front of me, right? When I open this back up, I rotate, my elbow's coming up, and this is coming over top at a little bit of an angle. Here, here. Again, hips, whip it, whip, whip, whip. This is a very whipping motion. Elbow up, elbow in and down, up and out, in and down. Okay? Wittig. Now, stick jab. All right, terminology-wise, when we say strike, we mean all the way through. Strike, strike, strike. Diagonal forearm, forehand strike. When we say jab, we mean pop and return. Diagonal forehand jab. Doesn't carry through. So terminology-wise, that's what we mean. Strike means all the way through. Jab means hit and return, rebound. Okay. So for our forward strike, this is one of those GTF of me. Here we are. I move. My arm straight out like I'm throwing a vertical jab. Okay. What happens is the momentum carries the stick forward, and I control it with my grip. Bring it back. Drops here. Straight out. This is supposed to be a very quick motion. It's combined with footwork. Okay. I'm not starting up and chopping down. I'm not doing this. I'm not making an arc. Pushing forward. The stick will arc. But you want this to mechanically be a straight line. I'm not coming down. You can do this, but it's something different. Okay? It becomes more Redondo-esque. If you do Kali, you'll know what I mean. This is straight in, straight out, like you're doing a jab. I'm controlling that. Okay? So that's a forward jab with a stick. Okay? We also do one I call a drop shot, similar to the jab in that it's a direct 12 o'clock line, but it's up, and then I drop my center straight down. Okay? So again, this gets into a little bit of footwork, leg work, hydraulics, things like that. But the stick strike is straight over the top. Starting up, and I drop it straight down. Right? Starting here, maybe starting here, doesn't matter. You get more arc if you start back. You get less arc, doesn't matter. Gravity is what's taking care of everything. straight down. Okay? Diagonal, horizontal, Wittig, upward diagonals, jab, and drop. Okay? Basic strikes. Okay, there's more, but we just like to keep it simple. It's as simple as it gets, so I'd like to keep it that way. All right? Stay tuned for part 2, where we would move the feet.